Well, most of you, as you move around in your physical time-space reality, you're really a mixed bag. You feel good about some things, you feel bad about some things. You allow good things to happen in some areas of your life. You disallow good things to happen in other areas of your life. And the reason you do that is because you are mostly offering your vibration in response to what you're observing. You've got what is itis. Or you're offering your vibration in response to what someone has told you would be a good idea for you to think. In other words, you began practicing a thought early on as you watched your parents struggle, or as you saw some injustice that they were talking about. You train your vibration by your attention to the subject. Everything that you look at, everything that you observe, everything that you sense is already offering a vibration. And the more of your attention that you give to it, the more you practice the frequency of it until you make it your own. That's what beliefs are. Beliefs are just thoughts you keep thinking. Now, sometimes our physical friends will say, but Abraham, these beliefs are true. And we say, most beliefs are true, and quickly true. Because when you give your attention to something, you make it true. Because you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So when somebody says to you that such and such, cancer or AIDS, is a fact of life, and then they show you the facts, and you give your attention to that, you let your attention to what is and the facts that they have presented to you, you let those facts into your vibration. And as you practice the vibration of them, now you perpetuate the fact itself. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not use as our criteria for giving our attention to something the truth of it, because there are so many things that are true that you do not want to experience. We would use as our criteria how it feels when we focus upon it. We would use as our criteria, if we were standing in your physical shoes, how it feels as we give our attention to it, because how it feels as we in our physical body give our attention to it would give us moment-to-moment feedback about how source feels about the same subject. In other words, when you focus upon some horrible, unwanted thing and you feel awful, it's not because source thinks that that horrible, unwanted thing is nice. It's because source is not focused upon that horrible, unwanted thing. And when you do, you're not a match to where source is focused. Every subject is two subjects. It's like picking up a big stick, and on one end of it is wanted, and on the other end of it is unwanted. And when you focus on unwanted and you feel awful when you do, that's your indicator that source, your source, the source within you, is focused on the wanted end of that stick. And when you're focused on the unwanted end, you have affected a vibrational frequency within yourself that not only is going to, by law of attraction, bring you the unwanted thing eventually if you stay focused upon it long enough, but in this moment, this is the most important thing, in this moment of negative emotion, you are depriving yourself of alignment with who you are. You are not the full, flowing, frisky, good-feeling, vital, alive being that you were born to be. You've pinched yourself off from all of that energy that creates worlds. And you're standing in irritation and confusion and out of focus. You're standing in confusion and anger and hurt and blame and guilt. You're standing in disconnection from the fullness. Disconnection is slightly too strong a word because you can never really disconnect from who you are. But you can pinch it off pretty good, and you know you're doing it because you feel miserable every time you do. So let us ask you some questions, because let's establish a beginning point and then we'll move on to new heights. Do you accept, at least to some degree, that you are a vibrational being? And do you accept that the way you feel is your indicator of one thing only? How much of your whole perspective you're allowing or not? Isn't that interesting? So if I'm afraid, that means I should be afraid. Because if I feel fear, what it really means is I've established a vibration that isn't including the wholeness of who I am, so my point of attraction can't let in what I really want So your fear is letting you know that your point of attraction is not including what you want. It's sort of like if you would stand over there, you'd get it, but while you're standing over here, you can't. So you're standing over here in fear and you can't get it. So then we say, stand over there and get it. You say, okay, I'll stand over there. I'm on my way. I'll stand over there. But it's not easy to, on a dime, turn those emotions around, is it? And why is that? Why can't you just feel good because you want to? Why can't you just switch your vibration like you do a light switch? Because law of attraction is shoring you up with things that match pretty much where you are. So you say, well, this sucks. You're telling me I want to go over there, but I can't go over there because I'm over here. Is that right? Well, it's almost right. What we're saying is you want to go over there, but you can't go over there quickly because you've been practicing being over here. You got to change the way you practice. So the first step is, do you believe that over there exists? Do you believe that there is a vibrational version of you that includes the new and improved version of you? Do you believe that the larger part of you, the non-physical part of you that remains non-physically focused even while you're here in this physical body, is already standing there perceiving that new and improved life experience? And by that we mean, what do you think? Oh, this is so good. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, we're just going to enjoy it to ourselves for a little while. What do you think your inner being's perspective is? What do you think? Start again. So, if manifestation is emotion, did we get you on that one? Do you accept that in the moment of your emotion, you are having a manifestation, and that your emotion itself is a manifestation? It's a manifestation of what? It's a manifestation, an indication, a manifestation, an indication. It's proof, it's evidence. It's a manifestation of the vibrational mix that's going on within you. How much of who you really are you allowing yourself to blend with right here, right now? So what do you think your inner being, or Abraham, what do you think the source within you, how would you describe our manifestational experience? As emotional. In other words, what do you think it is like for non-physical? Do you think we're driving cars around? Do you think we're adding on to our house? Do you think we're writing memoirs? Writing books? Just try to imagine what is the perspective of source energy. It's an emotional experience. It's what you all want. In other words, it's the party you're all on your way to. It's the joy you all seek. It's the allowing of an understanding of love and worthiness, which is at the basis of every single thing that you all want. In other words, we are living the ultimate manifestation. This is what we want to convince you of. If we can convince you that the manifestation that you seek is to hook up with the manifestation that we live, then you'll have it figured out. You've been hearing us say for years, if you've been listening to us, and some of you have, you've been hearing us say that everything that everyone wants, no matter what it is, whether it's a pile of money, a relationship, an improvement in your body, everything, no exception, that everyone has ever wanted or ever will want is for one reason and one reason only. What is it? You will feel better in the having of it. You will feel better in the having of it. So if we can convince you here today that there is a feeling place where the larger part of you exists, that is the manifestation that you can accomplish right here, right now. Can you add on to your beach house today? No. Well, you can add a board. But can you add on and move in today? No. Can you even find your beach house today? Maybe. Can you pay for it today? Probably not. Can you be excited about your beach house today? Can you find your lover in the parking lot? We were there. He's not there right now. Can you find your lover today? Maybe and maybe not, but it is irrelevant whether you actually lick his face today or not. What is relevant is, can you feel the existence of your lover? Can you feel well-being when you're not living it? Can you feel it? When you figure it out, that what you're really looking for is being in the vortex or being in full resonance with who you are, and that from that position then, that vortex in you, that complete full you, then affects the manifestations. And we've been saying it to you in many ways for many years, that you have to be in vibrational alignment with what you want in order for it to come about. And we've been talking about manifestations, but for most people, there has been a gap between this business of doing the vibrational work and the manifestations. And almost everybody says, okay, here I stand, I'm a manifested being, and I care about the what-isness of my life. And we say, of course you do. Because what is. It's who you are. It's where you be. Everything that surrounds you equals the manifestation of this moment. In other words, everyone you talk to, the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, it's all manifesting now. So most people say, all right, here I am. I don't have as much money as I want. I'd like to manifest more money. My car, I don't even want to talk about my car. I want a new car. I'm really not very happy with where I live, and I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something better than what I've had. I'm looking for a relationship. So I want to manifest these things. And they feel like pinnacle things. They feel like big things. They feel like things off in the distance. I want to manifest these things. So I think I'll go to this stupid meeting. The science of deliberate creation, the art of allowing, the law of attraction. I'll go to this meeting and I'll figure out how to manifest those things so that I can then be happy. And so even though we visit in lots of ways, we talk about this year after year after year, almost everyone is still doing it that way. I want to fill in the missing pieces of my life, so I'm therefore willing to do whatever it takes to fill in the missing pieces of my life. And we say, and you said, and we know, and you know, that the only missing piece is the relationship with your inner being that you've been looking for. That's the only missing piece. That's the only missing piece. The cooperative components have already been gathered and are ready to manifest. You're just the missing link. You're just the holdout, not always, but sometimes, in being the cooperative component. So when you get it, that your work is to ignore what is, no matter what it is, to ignore it, to love it and appreciate it for the expansion that it has caused, but now get off of it and start feeling your way into the vortex. Feeling your way into the vortex. And what we've noticed is most of you won't make the effort to feel your way into the vortex as long as you have some other way of wrestling it to the ground and killing it. Esther said, I realized that I wasn't really lining up, because why line up? I've got people. I have people to call. Something goes wrong, I'll just call someone and say, can you take care of that? And the people around me are so efficient and so good at it that they can put out the brush fire almost as fast as I can set them. But in time, you come to this place, and you certainly have found this place, where feeling good is what really matters. And if we can convince you that the way you feel is what matters, and you have the ability to feel good no matter what now, because you have the ability to focus in a way that allows you to feel good no matter what now. If you can find the feeling place of alignment, what happens is then, in your complete alignment, where in your vortex, everything that you've been asking for has been gathered. Now, the vortex will lay the groundwork and create the path, the delicious unfolding path for the manifested discovery of what you're looking for. And that's what we started to ask you a little bit ago, when we want to say to you, isn't it delicious to have found the resonance of knowing, more than belief, of knowing your wholeness, and then to watch that wholeness be manifested again and again in a conversation, in a sweet making of love, in a manifestation of something that you want, in details of life that are delicious in every way, no matter what the subject of it. Because once you get there, once you begin consciously and deliberately manifesting from inside the vortex, then you know what else you get? You get the freedom of resistance, which is just divine. And you get something that almost all of you have been speaking about since you were very, very little. You get knowledge of your worthiness.